Story 1. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that I can't cope working alone anymore and that she needs to find a job? Last week, my mom and I had an argument because she told me not to buy coffee and tea since she finishes it all when she's bored. I replied by saying, "What if I want coffee or tea? There won't be any left because you can't control yourself, so should I just not buy anything?" She got upset and said, "I'm not your child, this is my house, and you need to respect me." I left the house and went to my friends because I couldn't take it. I'm paying for everything since my income is the only one. She is looking for a job every day, but because of her age, she is struggling to find one. I don't want to seem selfish, but I've noticed that whenever we have any beverages in the house, she finishes them, and I only get 1 or 2 glasses. When I want something cold to drink, there's nothing left. The same happens with snacks. I'll go to work and come home to find she has finished a bag of my chips without asking. Sometimes she denies taking them, making me feel like I'm going insane. We have a beautiful relationship, and I don't want it to be ruined by this. I also think she's struggling mentally due to not working for 4 years now. She has always been the breadwinner and made sure I had everything I needed. But her staying at home all day with nothing to do is driving her crazy. Comments from netizen. Comment 1. Your relationship doesn't sound beautiful. Sit her down and tell her she needs to pay half the bills, or one of you is moving out, or you are downsizing to a studio apartment because you can't afford to support her. Buy your own coffee or tea and tell her not to touch it, or install a lock on the cabinet. You could even give her a weekly caffeine kit but still have enough for yourself. It isn't glamorous, but even a job at Walmart or dog walking would bring in some money. Google or call your local food banks. Call your local Catholic church and ask if they can help. They often deliver grocery bags to some family every week. Lastly, you should sign her up for Meals on Wheels if she is in the USA or other senior meal programs. Comment 2. Not the asshole. Looking for a job is usually full-time job. She is either not looking hard enough or isn't looking at all. Anyway, she is complaining she is bored, and yes, it's not healthy to stay at home doing nothing. So either job or some volunteer activity should be involved. Actually, sometimes volunteers get a job. Replay 1. Well, OP has one thing right. Well, more than one, age discrimination is real, and is alive and well. Mom is likely close to 50-something, and it is definitely harder to get a job at that age. But some here do have the right of it. Volunteer work can lead to jobs. Mom needs to get out, either in a work capacity or in a volunteer capacity. Sitting around for 4 years does no one any good and leads to depression and excuses. And definitely leads to more time to exploit the resources, including the last cup of tea. Comment 3. Not the asshole. She's lying by saying no one in 4 years will hire her because of her age. In the US, it's illegal to not hire someone because of the person's age. She says she's looking. Has she actually applied anywhere? I bet that she is barely looking and rarely applying. Not responding when she gets callbacks. And purposefully applying for jobs that she doesn't meet the qualifications for. I agree with another comment about volunteer gigs often leading to jobs. It's not only because you expand your network, but also because these positions help you gain the skills you may need to qualify for a job. Time to move out and get your own place and stop paying your mom's bills. Edit. My point about it being illegal to discriminate based on age is that there is no way that every single place she has applied to in 4 years has discriminated against her for this very reason. Replay 1. Quite frankly, though it is illegal to not hire someone because of the person's age, doesn't mean that many employers don't look at her age and not employ her because of it. How would she fight that? Age discrimination is real. And a problem. Just like with race. People discriminate based on race all the time. But proving it, that is hard to do. There are studies regarding both, and yes, it is real problem. By the way, OP paying the bills also gives OP a place to sleep, etc. She said her mom did right by her for years, around 22 of them, since mom lost job 4 years ago, and OP said she's 26, but then lost her job. 4 years is a long time, but mom likely has some self-worth issues she needs to sort out. To do that, she needs to, as you said, volunteer at least, something to get her out there. But it's hard to feel self-value when all you have to do in a day is wallow in your self-induced misery. OP's mom sounds depressed. Definitely needs to get out of that place through a job or volunteer. And as soon as possible. Mom needs to get some therapy. Replay 2. I buy that she's truly having trouble finding work. The jobs we'd normally tell desperate people to apply to, cashiering, fast food, construction, factory work, restaurants, are physically demanding in a way an older woman might not be able to handle. Yes, older women do work many of those jobs, but they are either in very good health or they do so through a lot of pain. She needs income, disability, unemployment, whatever, but I wouldn't assume she isn't trying. The work opportunities for an uneducated older woman are slim. Story 2. Am I the asshole for saying my dad was only a good dad to his daughters? This story has to do with me 18M, my younger sisters 11F and 16F, and my older sister 26F. And my dad 57M. My dad has always been a girl dad. He dotes on my sisters and treats them like princesses, and would do anything in the world for them. He has apparently been this way since my older half-sister was born. He has always been the perfect dad to his daughters. This is far different from the dad that I have. My dad has made it clear since I was about 7 years old that because I'm a man I can't expect the same treatment as my sisters and won't be given any handouts. My sisters are given quite literally anything they ask for. 11F has been given 3 Nintendo Switches in the past 2 years because she breaks hers while having a temper tantrum, and 16 and 26 female had cars bought for them, get a weekly allowance, and are given shopping trips at the drop of a hat. My elder sister still lives at home as an unemployed college dropout, and my dad is more than happy to have her. Meanwhile, I had to do chores around the house, including helping my dad work on his cars to earn new shoes and school clothes. I have been the sole person to do dishes, take out the trash, mow the lawn and wash my mom and dad's cars because these are seen as man's chores. At 14 I was expected to get a job on top of my weekly chores, and maintain a 4.0 GPA. My dad wanted to charge me $200 a month in rent, but was fortunately stopped by my mother, 40F. She is a complete pushover, and this is one of the few times she put her foot down. However, since I got the job, my parents have expected me to pay for school supplies, new clothes and food on my part-time, below minimum wage salary. Enough venting, on to the incident at hand. A week before my 18th birthday, my father again gave me the "men do not accept handouts" speech and told me I will not be getting a college fund and I was expected to pay $600 a month in rent or move out. I've already been making plans to move out. My best friend's family said I could stay with them for a few weeks before college starts, where I will be staying in the dorms. A few days ago was my actual birthday. Important to note, my father's parents are extremely rich and obsessed with appearances, so we always have a big birthday bash, everything decided by my father and mother, of course. I was once again hearing over and over again how great a father I had and what a beautiful party it was, and I guess I just snapped. I said while the party looks nice, it was all for show and that I did not have a great father, only my sisters did. I had an emotionally abusive piece of shit. An argument ensued and I revealed all my father had done to me over the years. The party ended shortly. I was promptly kicked out and I have been getting shit from my entire extended family for making my father and family look bad in the community. So am I the asshole? Comments from netizens. Comment 1, not the asshole. Your father is treating you appallingly. He's a cowardly bully. Any ideas why he has a problem with males? What was his own father like to him? In these type of stories, it's usually the women who have problems with their daughters. At least you showed him up in style. If his family don't want to believe it or don't care, cut ties with them. Also, it's a shame your mother allows it to happen. She should be more aggressive in standing up to him, but I suppose he's a bully who puts on a show for outsiders. Comment 3. OP, your dad has been a horrible parent to both his son and his daughters. The girls have been infantilized to the point of helplessness and ineptitude. You've been neglected to the point of trauma and destruction of the parental bond. The good news is at least you'll be self-sufficient, unlike your sisters. It sucks that you became that way because you had zero other choice. But 20 years from now, when you compare what you have achieved with what your poor sisters have achieved, you'll be grateful for the direction in which you were failed. Better to be self-sufficient and capable than a perpetual burden incapable of success. I'm sorry your parents fucking suck. Best of luck, OP. Comment 5, not the asshole. It's not your job to hide the fact that your dad is a POS, it's his job not to be one. You told the truth. That your relatives don't like the truth being made public isn't your problem. Don't want your family to look bad in the community. Make sure every member of the family is being taken care of properly. Go live your best life. Comment 6, not the asshole. Your dad is a POS who is raising entitled broads. My parents did the same, only reverse the genders. My dad literally gave my PS2 to my brother, and he gave him a car while he was still in high school. I wasn't even allowed to get my driver's license until I left the house and got it on my own. My brother still lives at home, wrecked his car, doesn't stay in college, and doesn't have a job. The real world doesn't coddle him and he is doing terribly. At this point he's just waiting for my parents to die to get everything they own. Your sisters will most likely have the same issue. Just go no contact, it'll bring you so much peace. Comment 7, just as you had to learn your dad was never going to give you anything, it's time your dad learns he has nothing to hold over you any longer. If you really want to solve the wound of your delusional Nepo parent, tell them how much you appreciate their life lessons before revealing a legal name change and the gift of finally, legally if not in practice, he has no son. Bonus points if you don't have any uncles that could potentially carry on the family name. Guarantee you this is one of those fools that would have an existential crisis if their legacy was cut off.